So this photo was taken about a year ago when I lost all my hair due to severe eczema and alopecia areata. And before all of it fell out, I used to tuck the remaining strands under a surgical cap and go assist in theatre as a fifth-year medical student. So I've spent about 10% of my life in hospital, and I saw the tremendous impact that healthcare workers could make on my life. But now, on the other side of the stethoscope, as a final year medical student, one thing is very clear. We have to put the humanity back into healthcare. When I was a teenage girl, I was hospitalized because eczema destroyed my skin. Every touch was a cigarette being put out. And after 3 weeks in hospital, my specialist looked at me and asked if I'm happy to be pretty again. So we as doctors often miss the point. So we wait months, build hope, and just get medical jargon. No understanding, no just these one-word diagnoses and complex plans, right? And as a patient, to navigate the system, it's a nightmare. It talks a language that we don't understand and never taught to understand. So chronic illness becomes this relentless cycle of defeat, confusion, rebuilding, repeat, right? So I was drawn to medicine, not because I can give answers that other brilliant people couldn't give, right? It's because I have this unique perspective of standing in the shoes of someone desperate for help. But working in medicine is like holding an umbrella in a tsunami. Wards are overfull, resources are scarce, staffs are spread way too thin, people and problems keep rolling in, and we just have to keep going, right? So, to give an example, when I was working in pediatrics, there was this small boy, malnourished, TB in his brain, and comes from a family of addicts. We finally had this child smiling again, and we had to discharge him back into the circumstances that created him. So the question no longer is, how can I make medicine better from my perspective? That's too abstract and self-serving. But the question is, how can I see the person in front of me as a human being? Patients never get taught what is happening, what we are doing trying to help, right? And why we expect it to help, right? But we have to stop making them feel like they have to fight for answers and actually make them feel like someone's on their side, right? Okay? And this is where we as healthcare workers actually hold our power, right? When we translate these complex concepts, we're giving back dignity, we're giving back trust, we're giving back a voice. Understanding was never a luxury, but an integral part of care. But the humanity can't go one way. Us as healthcare workers face political narratives that undermine science. We're in an economy that feeds off vulnerability. No amount of pink Himalayan salt will cure your arthritis. But we have to deal with the problems that misinformation creates, right? We are blamed for pharmacies that's not stocked, for emergencies taking too long. We are blamed for clerical errors. This is not something that we as doctors can carry alone, right? So healthcare, there is infrastructure, it's economy, it is policies, it's education, it's trust. And when there is an injustice, it reflects a problem over the whole system. And that's something that we cannot carry alone, right? So we're sitting on one hand where we expect patients to follow us blindly. And then on the other hand, we expect doctors within minutes to make complex decisions, life-changing decisions without gloves or hand sanitizer, right? So Resentment replaces respect. Conversations turns into conflict. And definitely this care becomes mechanical in nature, and healing cannot happen there, right? So healthcare has always been a partnership between patient and doctor, but it's also between the environment and the system that governs us, right? So when we not putting it on one person's shoulders, that's actually where we can start. So some days I'm still in the waiting room, hoping someone's on my side. And other days I'm in the wards working myself to the bone. But when you're on both sides of the stethoscope, the imbalance becomes very clear. As doctors, we should be more holistic healers, definitely. As patients, we should understand that doctors are carrying a broken system on their back. And maybe then we can actually start advocating for leaders and systems that benefits us both. So, whether you have the stethoscope in your ears or on your chest, whether you're in the waiting room or working in the wards, we are all just human. And maybe that's where healing should start.